Let's get this show started.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak mind. Think and stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hey guys, what's going on? I had my mic muted there and I was talking to myself for a minute, so great on me. What's happening? A little last minute stream here. I wanted to, go a little earlier like I usually do at 11. We're a little bit later than usual, and it was last minute, so no one really had any warning. So hopefully more people show up, but that's okay. You guys are on the ball. Who do we got here right now? We got Red Putz, we got Dave Collins, Curtis Markham, Killerfish, 4EMH. You changed your name. You added some little spaces and stuff in there. Nice. Unless, somebody took over your account. Is that a thing? Red Putz, Kia Enigma Adventures. What's going on? Dave Collins again. Timothy Mason. What do we got? Dude Jiu-Jitsu, Arcs Crypto, Mike Baldwin, Dutch Crypto Miner, Adam Opinski. Oh, I think I butchered that one. That's probably a fail. Kurasaki's Corner and Dizzy Ikea. Turo Markala. Big Bang Mining. It's 0021 here. Good morning. Oh my gosh, it's just after midnight. Oh, that is crazy. Where do you live? Where are you from? Thank you for showing up. That's awesome. So I have a little poll going there. It's mostly due to the fact that I had a comment a couple days ago. We talked about it yesterday, how, I just throw up some random live streams, and sometimes I use it to collect info. No, I'm not taking any type of identities, guys. Don't worry about that. But I put that poll up there to see what kind of PSUs you guys are using, because I was going over, software power, wall power. When I do some of my testing here, I use the power at the wall, and essentially that's the power that you're going to be paying for. So just because, software, there's a whole bunch of information going around. I keep saying software and power isn't correct, and at the wall is what you should be using. And, essentially, that technically it's right. Software power can be correct, but it's coming in at like 100% efficiency, not taking any power. So when I do my power test, it's the power that you're going to be paying for. And that's what I do my hash to watt ratios on. That's what I do all my numbers on. And, ultimately, just because, software is saying this, or you're using a calculator in between and it's still higher efficiency than what you are, when you're looking at the wall, the power company doesn't care what software or something else is telling you. They're paying on you what you're using at your wall. So that's where I work out my hash to watt ratios, how much power these things are using. And that also does come down to your PSU efficiency. So back to originally what I was talking about, the comment, I'm not mentioning any names or anything, but pretty much it came down to the fact where, most miners aren't using, oh, hold on. I need my button for this one, guys. I need my button for this one. So most miners aren't using piece of power supplies like you are is pretty much what it came down to. And, the majority of my tests, they all happen on gold rated power supplies, which is, I'm assuming the majority of miners out there are using gold rated power supplies. And that's the reason for this poll here. And, some people use bronze, they're cheaper, obviously. Some people use gold. Some people, there are some platinums out there, they cost more. And then you got your titaniums, with ultimately, yes, in an ideal world, you would want to use a titanium power supply, but they're 2 or 3 times the price of a gold rated. So, I don't know who that guy was referring to when he actually said, most miners aren't using, like I said, power supplies, piece of those power supplies like we are type of thing. So I decided to do this poll. What kind of power supplies are you using? And that's where we're kind of going with. Let's take a look at this right now. And, so far it's looking like 15% are using bronze, 48% is using gold. Look, 33% of you are using platinum. So that's actually nice. And so far 4% is using that titanium. So interesting. It's nice to see that there are some titanium users out there. We're going to kind of go through power supply ratings right now. So what are power supply ratings? I got to make sure you guys can see this. We're not going to read anything here word for word. We're just going to pretty much go over how to calculate them. So we're going to go with bronze. Here's bronze. This is how your 80 plus bronze power supplies are rated for at least 82% efficiency at 20%, 85 at 50%, and 82% efficiency at 100%. Now, you're going to see a common thing here as we go down. The highest peak efficiency rating on all these standards here for ATX PSUs is the 50% load. So now you can ask yourself, what size power supply are you running at? And, how much power are you drawing? So in theory, if you have a 400 watt power supply, in order to get the peak efficiency you're running at, you can only run 200 watts on that. You know, you have a 1200 watt power supply, you can only run 600 watts on that. Are you guys running within those limits? I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys out there aren't. But if you really want to get picky, save the most amount of power and everything possible, these are numbers you should know about and you should start running at. So this is the bronze rating here. Now, bronze doesn't, I used to sometimes say, you know, bronze power supplies, they're made cheap, they're light, they're garbage, they explode, whatever. That's not entirely true. You know, obviously, if you're getting from a good supplier and they're great, 80 plus bronze doesn't mean it's a bad power supply. It's just that at the wall, you are going to be using more power than the higher rated power supplies. And in the end, over time, and depending on the size of the rigs that you're actually using, then the more you have as a farm, the more you're going to benefit out of those better, more expensive power supplies. So here's, and then 82% at 100% load. Now we're going to look at 80 plus silver. No, I didn't have enough options. I doubt a lot of people are using these, but some people are. We're going to go to the next, which is probably, like they said, the majority of the people are using 80 plus gold. And this is just where they're rated here. So 80 plus gold is actually 87% at both 20% and 100%. So you're getting 80% efficiency at 20 and 100%, similar to the bronze and silver, but 90% is at 50%. So like I said, again, 50% of your PSU load is sitting, the peak efficiency is at 50%. We're at 90. Now we got 80 plus platinum. This is where things get a little bit different, but you know, regardless, it's still the way it goes. Platinum rated power supplies are rated for 90% efficiency at 20% load, 92% efficiency at 50% load, and oddly enough, 89% at 100% load. So you're actually losing 1% at 100% than you are from the 20% when it comes to platinum. And then we got the Big Mac Daddy, which is, you know, ultimately very expensive, but the best power supply you can get in terms of power efficiency, and that's your 80 plus titanium. And this thing is at 10% load, 92% efficiency at 20%. It's 94% efficient at a 50% load and 90% at 100% load. So kind of what that means, let's just say, you know, you're using 100 watts on this thing. Say you have a, you know, just this theoretical type of thing. You have a 100 watt power supply and you're using 100 watts. So at the wall, being 90%, you're going to be using the extra 10%. So you're actually at the wall 110 watts when you're using 100 watts. So that's kind of how the efficiency comes into play. So example, you know, you have a 100 watt titanium power supply, like I just said, you're using 110 watts. The power company is going to be charging you 110 watts, not 100 watts of what, you know, software may be telling you or something in there. So those are the kind of, you know, power consumption. When I do my hash to watt ratios and stuff, I'm trying to showcase you is it's the hash to watt ratio and everything based on what your power company is going to charge you. And again, it's gold rated. If you saw my 3090 video this morning, I did mention I have a bronze I am going to be testing out that's on a CPU mining rig. I also have that titanium PSU, which is this bad boy right here I'm going to be testing. So I'm going to throw that 3090 maybe sometime today, release that tomorrow on this titanium power supply, on a bronze power supply, and again, on this 80% on this gold power supply. And we're going to see at the wall how the numbers change and how it could potentially affect you depending on the size of your farm. Now, remember, if you're running, let's see here, where is a bronze, for example? We're at 85%. So this would be using, so again, let's just say 100% load, 82% efficient. So here you'd be using say you had 100 watts. This is just a theory to open it up. So how you can compare this on your farm. So if you have a bronze power supply and you're running the same 100 watts, you're now using 118 watts at the wall. So an extra 8 watts, I guess you could say, on that 100 watts. So let's say you have 2000 watts, right? And we're going to divide that obviously by 100. And then we're going to times that by 8 for the extra 8 watts. So you're using an extra 160 watts, and you could be saving that just based on swapping your power supply over. So over time, you know, like I said, the bigger and more rigs and stuff and power you're using, you will benefit more from using these type of power supplies over the other power supplies. Anyway, a little chit chat about that operation. Let's scroll back up and see what's been going on. I see some ads here and talking, and other good stuff here. Also, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, bell notification, and good stuff. Pump them likes. Yeah, for EMH. You tell them, pump them likes. Okay, so platinum FTW, mate. Only 2 to 3 are gold in my arsenal. Always going for platinum. Gold ones are old machines. Nice, awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, platinum. I'm probably gonna throw this platinum. It's a 1200 watt. And you guys saw me, if you saw it in my previous tests on like my 5950X workstation, which has the 3080 in it. It's gaming actually. When I did that gaming, how much power a gamer's using, because crypto miners are always getting singled out because obviously it goes against the main agenda that we know where we're going here. I'm not going to mention too much about it, but crypto mining is always getting singled out for this very reason. And when I was doing that, I found out that gaming was using like 580 to 600 watts on my system, where well my CPU as well as my GPU were mining. I was down to about 480 watts. So I was using less power mining than gaming. And other people are like, I only game for a couple hours. I only game for this. I'm not gaming 24/7. But there are people out there, like, have you ever played, like, let's say, some people get addicted to these MMOs, like, let's say World of Warcraft or this, you leave your gaming PC on, you go AFK for a bit, you walk back, but your PC is running there for hours and you might not even be there. It's the same type of operation. Gamers do leave, their PCs on in game for a long time. So, there's obviously a lot of arguing factors on it. So that's just one. I'm not saying everybody does that, but I'm just saying, so anyway, the point of that is 50% is your peak efficiency on all the ATX power supplies. It's 50%. So this is about 50%. So this titanium power supply would suit my workstation perfectly because I'm sitting around that 50% range of the power supply. So after I do testing and stuff, I'm probably going to throw it into there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, anyway, let's continue on with what we're going on. Also, again, like I recommend server PSUs when it comes to crypto mining, because their actual peak efficiency is more in the 70 to 80 or something like that percentage range over the ATX. So you're getting a little more efficiency using server power supplies for mining than you would be with ATX power supplies. And in some situations, obviously when you're talking about platinum power supplies and stuff, the server PSUs are a lot cheaper than the ATX PSUs. Anyway, let's see what else we got going on here with the talking and chatting. And what's that song called at the start? Oh, what was that one called? I'm going to have to look into the very first one or the second one. The very first one was, you know what? Let's just open this up and let's see. See if I can find it. This music, where are you? No, it's not that one. What the heck one was it? Free Me. I think it was Free Me. I think it's Free Me. I believe it's called Free Me by Nefx or something like that. I think that's what it is. Just watched your 3090 video. What issues were you running into with that MSI 3060 Ti that was in the video? Oh, just lucky mining. So we tried that, like we did the 3060 LHR unlocker, like these live streams right here. You can see, actually, this is the live stream where I ran into all those issues. So you can see we tested LOL miner version 1.47 versus the 3060. We found some more efficient, nice, decent hash rates there. But then we tried the 3060 Ti and like we tried it over and over, but I didn't make it very far in actually writing down the numbers because it was horrible. I can't even remember the range we went for, but I went all the way down to like 1,000 core up to 1,500 on the core, memory down to like 500, all the way up to 3,600. And no matter what I did, it would not go over 42 mega hash. I could have no memory on the thing pretty much, and it'd be at 42 mega hash. I crank it to 3,600, 42 mega hash. Same thing with the core, all the way up, down. Now, when I got to a certain limit of it coming down, I'd lose some mega hash, but it would, no matter what I did, I could crank that thing up, no power limit, nothing, and it would still only max out at 42 mega hash. But the power it was consumption was absolutely insane. It did do okay on Flux. I believe I can't remember the numbers. It was like 50 to 51 souls I think we were getting on Flux, but still, it was using about 180 watts or something, 190. And guys, mining those core algorithms after Ethereum is gone, like, oh my gosh, power company, like, oh, power companies are going to be loving you. Like, everyone's power consumption is just going to shoot right up. Like, seriously, going from 130, you're going like up an extra 40 to 50 watts, at least, depending on your GPU. For every GPU, you're going to be ultimately having an extra 25% increase in power, depending on how many GPUs have. So if you're running a 30 amp 240 volt right now, and you're sitting around 2,000 watts, 3,000 watts, whatever, you're going to be upwards of 4,000 watts, potentially 5,000 watts from, just moving to these core algorithms. And if you're already at the 80%, you're going to have to look into running some more lines and breakers and circuits, because you're going to be blowing breakers all over the place. So, oh my gosh, when Ethereum's gone and these core algorithms take over, it's going to be expensive, guys. And you're not going to be making that much either, if it's even profitable at all. Like, I'm really not looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm over ETH. I'm not thinking about it, but just what's going to happen afterwards is the main reason why I'm looking into other ways to mine crypto. My CPU is only used like 90 to 100 watts while mining. Like, that is way cheaper to run than that. And there's a potential. What if Raptorium pumps? I have like, if Raptorium hits 8 cents again, which I really think it'll go probably higher in the next bull run, I got at least 40 to 50,000 USD worth of mined crypto in there if it hits 8 cents again. So it's crazy. I really think CPUs and stuff are a better option. It's too much power is going to be used, but it also depends on how much power, how your power company charges you. Mine, I am locked in at only 6.5 cents. So, that's a nice cheap power price. So my power price in general, just the power I use, it's not too bad. But the more power I use, I get charged more from distribution fees and everything else, and maintenance fees, line fees, whatever they charge there. And the more power I use, the higher that goes. So currently with my power and those charges at like say I can't remember what I mean. I'm around 4,000 watts. Actually, I think I'm peaking 5,000 watts with that HS light on there right now. So I'm around 17 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, once this happens and I say I'm around 5,500 watts or something, maybe I start hitting 6,000 watts. I got to move some of my rigs on the 120 volt or something, depending on what's going on. My power price could then, because of that going up, I'm still going to be paying 6.5 cents on my power used, but those distribution fees could push the total up to like 20 cents per kilowatt hour. And that's starting to get pretty insane. At the same point, like, it's over double. Those guys charge over double than what I'm actually paying the power company. So where I live, the way they charge is absolutely incredibly not smart. So again, that also comes into the point. When do you shut your rigs off? If it comes to the point where I'm breaking even or potentially losing money, which I think most people will once Ethereum mining is gone, especially right at the start, and it's going to be like that for a couple months and potentially years. But if you're in the negatives, you're not making enough coins to actually pay for the power that you're mining, that means you're in the red. You're better off using whatever you would have paid on your power bill. So say you have a $600 a month power bill, or you have a $1,000 a month power bill, and you don't have enough coins mined to pay that $1,000. You may as well just take that $1,000, buy the coin you were mining or would have been mining. You would end up with a lot more coins for the same amount of price and power. That is the smart time to turn off your rig. You can argue the fact, I'm going to keep mining because I'm going to keep getting coins and it's just going to pump in the future. But why would you do that if you can use the same amount of power and get more coins for that future pump instead of mining, spending the same amount and getting less coins? It doesn't make sense to keep mining at that type of time frame. So I don't know, a lot of people seem to have trouble figuring that aspect out, but it's quite simple, really. So I'm just trying to bring this information for you. When the time comes and you're not making enough to pay your power, it is okay to turn your rigs off. If you think it's going to pump again, it'll be profitable again. Other people sell off their rigs and stuff. The difficulties start dropping and the profitability picks up. Then you keep your rigs and you just turn them back on when, the time comes to do it. But it doesn't mean you have to sell everything out or nothing, but there is a smart time to actually turn your rigs off. So just keep that in mind, guys. We still have a whole bunch of ads. I'm catching up on the chat here, and you know how the channel is here. I go on these rants, and I just went through one. Kuzasko's Corner. Also worth mentioning that these standards don't factor transcendent spikes, loads, and generally once models get the standard, they don't need to maintain it. Oh, yeah, you do it. Yeah, remember, yeah, you have your spikes, your loads, and things like that. Yeah, for sure. Calculate. There's a lot of stuff to these actual power supplies. And obviously, I don't know everything on them. I probably don't even know half of what I should know on them, but I'm just kind of relaying what I do know. And obviously, like everything else, do your own research, get aspects all across the board. And then, if you know something I missed or something I was wrong about, just let me know. Because honestly, I try to get as much information as I can. And if I'm wrong on something, I'll say, yo, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, guys. Well, I did mean it, but I thought I was right. So there we go. It's okay to be wrong. That's how you learn. Ask the questions, though. I ask questions all the time to other people. I ask you guys stuff all the time, what you guys think about something, and I take your feedback back as well. And then, I find a different way to present something at a later date. Techman Ty. Thank you. Techman, thank you. Working but lurking. Bronze PSUs are not terrible on small stuff sometimes. The main concern to me is reliability. They generally aren't as dependable as higher efficient PSUs too. So yeah, that also could come down to like a build quality. I did see, I can't remember if it was J2 Cents or maybe it was Linus or maybe it was Hardware Unboxing. I don't even remember, but one of them along the roads, actually maybe it was Gamers Nexus. So all of them, I got them all mixed up, but they all usually talk about the same type of things. But when, the power supplies are going around, it comes down to build quality. Like, you get your more platinum ones and those PSUs are heavy. But some companies were literally making cheap products, but throwing weights into their power supplies to make it seem like a nice, heavy quality build. So you got to keep that in mind. It does come down to build quality, reviews, and, half the times these days, you can't even rely on reviews because half of them are fake. So, it's really hard to get real information these days. It's next to impossible. There's so much misinformation out there or scam type of reviews on things, and it's just crazy in reality. But just keep an eye on things, go with well-known brands, and ultimately hopefully it works. Rabid rants. Yes, exactly. Rabid rants. It's always about the rabid rants. I normally use high wattage power supplies in which gold and bronze aren't available. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So with gold and bronze aren't available, so you're rolling with you're rolling on platinums and stuff. I do have, this is something I want to ask you, Techman, maybe you know about this. Now, I do know that you can't change realistically. Like, you get a power supply, you want new cables for it, new 24 pin, and a PCI Express. But depending on the brands and everything, they're not really interchangeable. And then you got third-party brands that they say they work with them. But, the pins are different in the back of power supplies. That's why it's not recommended to mix and match between, like, say, Be Quiet or EVGA or Corsair or something, because they may have their pin out layouts different at the PSU connection. Obviously, in the 24-pin for your motherboards and the 8 pins on the PCI coming out, those are all the same type of standards. But the plug that actually goes in the PSU may be wrong. Now, a while back, it was about a year or two ago, I found a Platinum Edition 1600 watt power supply from EVGA. I was like, awesome. Now it looked kind of rugged. The screws in the back, it almost looks like somebody stole it out of someone's computer. They just ripped it off because they're kind of stripped out and everything. I was like, whatever. And then the guy said, here's the cables and whatever. They're marked EVGA. They look like the cheaper, stringier kind type of operation. I'll do a video on it here because I'm really curious about this. Anyway, I plugged it into, let me check which motherboard this is. So I plugged it into one of those Gigabyte H310s, those H3DA type of motherboards, those mining motherboards from Gigabyte. And, that motherboard used to be on my test bench. It worked great, but I plugged that one in just to test it. And on my watt meter, it started saying surge and failure. And I was like, what is going on? The motherboard's not turning on. And then before I could turn it off, it actually popped my motherboard. Boom. There's a smoke thing in the back of smoke. It stunk down in my basement here for like 2-3 days. And it was just bad. So I'm wondering, is the power supply screwed? Or if the guy gave me cheap knockoff cables or something. They were all packaged up and said EVGA, but they might have been like cheap knockoff Chinese cables. So I'm not sure what's going on with that power supply yet. I should do a video on it just to get your guys' kind of input, because I'm curious if that power supply is actually good, and if I could find real cables, I could do it. I tried the pinning, the paperclip trick, but then again, if those cables are wrong, that's wrong, because the fan didn't start spinning or anything. But, I found that interesting and just kind of thing I'm going through. But that power supply is like I've had it for 2 years and never really touched it since, obviously. But I should try to see if I can find legit cables so I know if that's an issue or not. Anyway, I smoked a motherboard too once using thermal tape cables and an EVGA PSU, so I learned that lesson the hard way. Oh dear. Yeah, that's definitely bad. That's why it's hard. It's like you go to Amazon, you see third-party cables, you can get your fancy colored cables, but I don't trust that. They say usually, you know, if you're getting cables, go straight from the manufacturer. But at the same time, the cables are almost as much as the PSU themselves, so you may as well just be buying a brand new PSU. So like kind of stuck in the middle here of what to do about that. Miswired, you can check with a meter. Okay, so yeah, maybe it is the cables. You know what? I'm live right now. I got a camera beside me. I can show you guys the cables and stuff. I don't know why I think I can just make a video on it later. I can show you guys right now. Let's have a look at these cables and stuff. I gotta go find the power supply. Give me a second. All right, here's the power supply. I gotta find this cabling. Big motherboard cable. All right. Get some lights going. Okay, almost ready, guys. Sorry. I gotta get my camera ready. Set this thing up. Okay, where's my camera? All right, TechMan. Oh yeah, you're at work, so you're TechMan's at work right now. He's probably the one that can help me with this, but he can't really pay attention too much. But that's okay. There might be someone out there. See, I'm asking you guys for help. See what you guys know about this situation. I'm assuming maybe I just have cheap knockoff cables. China can make things look very legit. Remember that. All right. Oh, Stingy, what's going on? Is it possible to see some Canadian eggs? Oh, hey, you know what? Maybe I can run upstairs and grab you some eggs. Hang in there. I just got to get this all set up and going so we can check all this out. So I'm going to go to this. Now, remember, wasn't prepared for this, so I may be potentially doxing myself. How come this isn't working? Oh, man, I don't have the button set up. All right, so there's that. Let's have a look at a few things here. One, here's the motherboard I smoked. So I'll show you guys right about where it is. Where did right here. See in the corner here? Look at that. That's where I smoked this motherboard. Focus. See, so you can see where it kind of popped right there. It was really stinky. Bring the cables down for now. So here's that power supply. Here's the power supply, EVGA 1200 watt P2 Supernova power supply. Here's where it looks. Well, all this end looks fine to me. But here's where I thought, you know, is this thing stolen or something? Like, look at the... Come on, focus. There's that screw hole up there. It's like broken off inside, like it just got ripped off. Or maybe they just tightened it too high, but it shouldn't. It would have stripped there, not broke. But yeah, I don't know. And here's the cabling. So it's these kind of... here's the cables that the guy sent with it. Here's the motherboard, and you can see it's kind of this stringy type of operation I don't really like. And I got a whole bunch. I have all these still in packages, but you can see like it's EVGA all over it, but I don't know if these are legit. Maybe it's for a different, older, or who knows, power supply, or it's just a Chinese knockoff type of cable operation. I'm not really sure, but probably gonna, that's pretty shiny here. I gotta be careful. You can see what's going on here. So I don't know if it's the cables or what. So I gotta figure this out. This PSU is too old to actually test. Like, I mean, to send back. I was gonna try to RMA it, but they wouldn't let me. It was, the serial number was too old, type of thing. But yeah, that's that. But obviously, yes, we're gonna be testing this one day. This is 1200 watts in titanium. So that'll be sweet when we get that thing up and running. But yeah, I'm curious about that power supply. What could it be? I'm hoping it's just the cables, and maybe I could find some cables for this thing. But at the same time, like I said, cables are expensive. And I have another thing here I want to point out. I got some new lights. I want to see if they work here. Where's my thing? Newer. There we go. Check out these lights. These things are cool. So my original lights that I used to use here, let's swing around. My little drop. I'm waiting for a bigger green screen. That thing's too small. Let me get closer to Mike so you can see. But those are my old lights. And that's one right there. The other one's kind of back. Where's the other one? Oh, yeah. Right there. But those things use, those bulbs, it has 6 bulbs that are like 150 watts a piece. So each light is almost at like the 800 or 900 watt mark. So I got these little guys here, and that's pretty bright. I got another one here. They're nice, easy, compact. They have a cool freaking app on them where you can just do funky stuff. Now watch this. Watch this funky stuff. Oh, I almost doxed myself. That was close. Good thing I have my hat and the phone in front of my face. Let me find the right buttons here. Groups. Here. There we go. Now watch this. I can change the color temperature so you can see the color changing in here. See? Color temperatures. We can do some crazy sci-fi type of operations. Let me find it. I can change colors around. Look at that. Go to my scene. Look at that. It's like cops. Got police happening here. That's insane. That's awesome. You can do an ambulance. Got an ambulance happening. Fire engine. It's almost like the fire engines are going by. We got party mode. Let's find party action. Here's fireworks. Here's the party. You know, we're grooving now. We need some tunes. Hold on. I got to get the tunes. Let me find something. Oh, yeah. How about that? Rocking live with Rabid right now. Let's turn that off. We got, what do we got? What's this one? Lightning. Got some lightning stuff. That looks wicked. And then we got display screen. Oh, that's squad car again. And yeah, I don't know. And then you can just make solid colors. Green, yellow, blue. I don't know. All sorts of cool stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's that. I thought I'd point out these cool little light tricks we can play with now. Okay, turn those off. And Sinji, yes. Let's have a look here. Let's turn this, pause it. All right. And you want to see some Canadian eggs. Yeah, Montana Disco Boogie. Exactly. Disco Boogieing. Do you have a PSU tester? I have like a voltage tester and stuff with the prongs and stuff. Is that what you mean? Or is there a specific tester only for PSUs? I don't have something that's designed for PSUs themselves. So maybe that's something I should look into. Your newer EVGA PSUs have braided cables. Okay, they have braided cables. Antec made a nice one. Just count yourself lucky when you made it this long till it happened eventually. They make an ATX PSU tester with a display. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into that because I should probably get that and actually test this power supply out. 20 to 40 bucks. That's USD, so it's probably $100 to $200 Canadian. Did I miss anything here? We got EVGA bronze has stranded cables, gold and better are always braided. Gold and always better are braided? Of stranded cables, gold. Okay, and so these are stranded cables, so that means they're for bronze, so they're the wrong operation. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have so many of those EVGA PSUs, and I've never had any go bad. Yeah, I know. Like when I was building on my CPU rigs and stuff before I moved a few over to that server power supply, I was trying to get all the EVGA 750 watt power supplies because one, all the cables are the same. They're all the same power supply, so I'll have lots of access of extra cables if ever needed. So I always went with the same brand. And then those power supplies went from like $90 to $100 Canadian. They're up to like $200 now, and they're not even made anymore. Who they used to use what, gold flour or something like that? Something flour used to make their power supplies, but they swapped over from their G whatever to their G5s or something now, and they're using a different provider. And it seems like a bunch of people don't really like their newer ones now. Now, I don't know how good they are. I haven't tested it, but then, you start getting different power supplies. You got to start looking at different cabling potentially and other factors involved with that as well. It's based on the OEM. Yeah, so they have a different, their G5s now, their newest EVGAs they're using the different, I guess, OEM. They got different manufacturing stuff making them. So the cables would probably not be interchangeable. But the ones I was using, which ones are they? Those 750s? I can't remember which ones they are, but they used to be made by that. Can't remember, something flour company. I don't remember what their name is, but they were known for making good power supplies. Cable type isn't based on the brand. No, it goes by the pins in the back. The power supplies, each one company makes different ones, and the pinning in the back, they have different layouts of where their 12 volts are, their grounds and stuff like that. So, putting up, like you say, your first 3 pins, for example, in an EVGA could be 12 volt, and then the next one could be a ground, where if you go to thermal take, your first 2 could be a ground, and your next one, it could be a positive, and then a negative, and then a 12 volt, and then whatever, all over the place. So the pinning in the back of the power supply, where you actually plug the cables, are different depending on the power supplies themselves, different brands. And then obviously, motherboards and everything are built with their standards. So the end that you actually plug into your motherboards and GPUs, whatever, they're always the same on that end. But it's the power supply end where pinout layouts could be different. Super Flower. Yes, that's right. That's them. That's what I'm thinking of. Super Flower used to make those G3s or G2s or G4s. I can't remember. Whatever the power supply was before they started making the G5s seemed to be, their better power supply. And those are the ones I was ordering. EVGA BQ series trash. So yeah, the BQ series, that is the actual bronze one that I have on one of my CPU rigs, which I do want to test on that 3090. Now we're going to be going over the peak efficiency, obviously. Like, I don't have, ultimately, to get the perfect test, you're going to need the same size power supply across the board. Now, that BQ bronze I have is a 450 watt, so I'm going to be over the 50% mark on that 3090. It's going to, because we saw it was 300 and some watts, so it's going to be even a little more using the bronze. So we're going to be at like the 80 to 90% on that 450 watt. And then I could use a 750 watt. That'll be more in a peak efficiency on the gold. And then obviously the only titanium I have is this 1200 watt, and we're going to be underneath that 50% mark. But in theory, we should still be able to see the difference in the power supplies, the PSUs in general, at the wall using that 3090, even though they're on different sizes. We're going to be tweaking different efficiency ranges of them all, but we're still going to notice a difference, and we should be drawing less power at the wall the higher up we go on that PSU type, like bronze, gold, or titanium. DM you a link for reference only. All right, sounds good, Tech Man. Thanks for the link. I'll check it out after. A dump would be 32K BTC. This is a bump. That's all. It's not pinning of the gauge of the wire may be different as well. Yeah, it could be various things. You've got to be really careful when it comes to power supply PSUs. Now, Stygie, are you still out there? Do you want me to run upstairs and try to find you an egg? I think we have some eggs upstairs. Now, I'm not sure which eggs we still have, if they're from the store or if we actually got them from the wife's mother, because she actually has her own chickens. So we get fresh chicken eggs every once in a while. I'm not sure what's upstairs. You're still here? All right, I'll go grab you some eggs and figure out which one they are. Give me a quick second. I'm coming, guys. Hang in there. Can you hear me? All right, I'm back. I got some eggs. I got both types of eggs for you, Stingy. So we got, hold on. I'll show you the store-bought eggs first. So these eggs here are from the store. Let me just turn my lights back on. Hit the power switch on them. Get you some nice lighting. Uh-oh. I'm on like a weird color. Let's see what we got here. All right, color temperature. Bring it to 4800K. All right, here we are. Got some eggs for Stingy. Find my button. All right, so these eggs are from the store. These are store-bought eggs. You can see right here. I'll close this up. And there we go. 18 white eggs. Now, these eggs here are super fresh. These are straight out of the chicken's butt themselves. Can I say that? I should be able to say that. That should be okay. And there we go. So this is straight from the chicken. So nice. Obviously, these are just cracked shells. This one's empty, but these ones here are all good. So we got some fresh eggs straight out of the chicken right there. And then obviously we got the store-bought ones underneath. So there you go. You asked and you shall receive. That was completely random. And people just tuning in right now, they're like, why are we looking at eggs? Well, Stingy's from Norway or Norwegian. He's Norwegian anyway, I'm pretty sure. Thank you again for the 50 knock. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you actually showing me Canadian stuff. Hey, no problem. But he always likes to see Canadian stuff. So we've gone through all sorts of different things. Chips. We went through, what was it? A homemade burger. And I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff we've seen. And ultimately, we keep trying to find more stuff for him. Oh, yeah. We showed Tim Hortons. We showed him Tim Hortons one day. I think I had, what did I have? An ice cap, or I had a French vanilla or something from Tim Hortons. I don't remember. Or Timbits. There was Timbits there we had once. All sorts of stuff. Those some sexy eggs. Caribou eggs. Caribou eggs. Talk about, honestly, I think ETC is a good hold right now. Cool. Honey cruller honey crullers. I absolutely love honey crullers. But one thing I don't like about Tim Hortons anymore, it's not fresh anymore. Their actual quality has gone to trash. And, you know, that's sad to say because they plan on opening up. Looks like as they want to open up a few stores in the US, a couple, you know, overseas in Europe or something, I think, as well. So it's not going to be strictly Canadian anymore. But their quality, they used to make their donuts and stuff fresh in store. But for the last couple of years, you know how companies get bigger and they got to save money and whatever they got to do, they're turning into low quality crap. So they get everything trucked in and they just kind of heat up their donuts and stuff now. It's not what it used to be. They used to be the honey crullers. Oh my gosh, I still remember. They were like so light and fluffy, and then like they taste like kind of have that eggy taste when they're nice and fresh. Now, half the time I go get one, they're hard as a rock. They're solid. They try and drown out the taste by spreading sugar all over it like crazy, and it's just not the same as it used to be. So I feel sorry for the new Tim Hortons that are opening up throughout the world. You're really not going to taste how good they once were. So Tim Hortons, if you're listening to this, which I highly doubt you're listening to a crypto mining show, get your act together, go back to the roots, make your stuff better again, because, you know, obviously you're losing customers, you're failing. Anyway, I thought I'd point that out. Timmy's sold out. Exactly, they sold out. They're absolutely horrible now. Timbits, yeah, their Timbits are still good. They don't even have honey cruller Timbits anymore, not at least where I am. They quit making those too now, so I don't know. Enough about them. It hasn't been Canadian for like 15. Really? They've been all over the place now? Okay, maybe it's not a strict Canadian thing anymore. Maybe that's when they started turning into this. Maybe it's been 15 years that they turned to garbage. I don't know. I heard you buy peanut butter frozen in pieces in Canada. Is that true? I think you can get frozen peanut butter. It's like a treat. People make, yeah, you can freeze up, and I think there's little peanut butter cube treats in the freezer you can get. I can't confirm. I don't really remember that, but I think so. I don't know. Okay, now I gotta turn these lights back off. Where's the button? There you go. Rabid powers his GPUs with hamsters and goats. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than paying power companies because they're ripping you off. Oh, did I tell you? I kind of mentioned this. I remember it was a couple of weeks ago, but on the news, there was a power guy because everyone's talking about power prices going up. Obviously, we're not hitting the prices like Europe is seeing. You know, it's getting very bad over there. But the guy looked mad. They had a power guy on there saying, you know, people have the options to do it. And it's like he was yelling at everyone on the news. Like, you guys can easily do this. There's options to save on power. You guys don't have to be complaining all the time. We're doing the best we absolutely can. Yeah, they're doing the best they absolutely can to rob everybody. That's what they're doing the best of. Like, he's made it sound like it's everybody else's fault that they're not locking into this. And half the time, it's not even the stuff you lock in isn't the part that's charging you all the money. It's those distribution guys and everything. So I don't know. I find it funny how these big guys are just making it look like it's everyone else's problem when they're just racking in the bucks. But, you know, that's the way it rolls, I guess. You know, that's the way it works. We have a few Tim Hortons in Minnesota. Oh, nice. Really? Cool. Does he clean his GPUs with maple syrup? I hear that's... Yeah, I do, actually. It gives it a nice shiny gloss afterwards. And then ultimately, everything else will just stick to it twice as bad. So, you know, at first it looks awesome, but after a while it's bad. Oh, maple syrup's for bath. It's Telus and Shaw. Oh, yeah, Telus and Shaw. Which leads me to another point. You know, one of these days, don't forget Rogers. Rogers is out here as well, and they're battling with Telus and Bell and everything else. But you know, these tech companies, these cellular people, they're picking up on helium. What if one day we're going to see this big, huge merger or buyout thing? You know, helium bought out by Telus or something like that. You know what? It's probably bound to happen. You ever think about that? Obviously, when these companies turn into their turfs, there's big things happening. And which is another thing up here in Canada. It was funny, actually. So there's a cell phone company, a smaller one in the east side of around Quebec or so that wants to branch out to the western. And they have cheaper cell phone plans and stuff. And Telus and Bell are really the only guys out in the western part of Canada. And they run everything out here. So, you know, they can charge whatever they want. Their pricing and everything is fairly close. Obviously, they try to undercut each other once a year during a sale or something. But overall, their plans are fairly close. Now, this Quebec company has cheaper plans, you know, quite a bit cheaper where things will look bad. So they want to branch into Western Canada. They're still Canadian. They want to just, you know, expand. Bell decided they want to throw lawsuits against this little company, sue them, pretty much saying how they own Western Canada and they don't want anyone else to come into here. There you go. Like, if you are the only companies here, you guys can charge whatever you want. But now we have a smaller company here. Obviously, they have cheaper prices. People are going to switch to them. Bell and them are going to lose a bunch of money. So they're trying to sue this other company not to come into this side. You know, that's just the way these guys work. But if anyone else normal, you know, we're not a massive million company or something like that, tries to say anything like this or spark any type of anything, all of a sudden, you know, you're silenced or something. But it's okay for big companies to do things like this. It's really crazy how everything's working out. Starlink. No, it's not. What's up? Everything good? Mining Mole GR. Yeah, everything's good. What's happening? We're just ranting. It's more like a rant stream, I guess. You guys like the rant streams, or you guys want to talk about something else? I don't know. I have a feeling I got to be careful sometimes because I have a feeling I'm going to wake up in the morning and then I'll be gone. Just like politics. Yep. I seen another thing on the news the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. How I gotta do a video on that because that's actually kind of a important one. Hold on, I gotta move these eggs so I don't squish them. So the Canadian government is speaking about how to regulate crypto. They actually said that they're seeing Bitcoin as a threat to the traditional financial system. Well, yeah, obviously we know this, you know, it's better. There's no inflation. We don't have to worry about all this other crap going on. But yeah, they're really working on this. It was on the news last night and I found it very interesting. I got to find more details on this and I think it would make an interesting video. But yeah, they legitly said straight out in Parliament that they got to crack down on their regulations because they feel that Bitcoin is now becoming a threat to the main the main financial system in Canada. So that's kind of interesting thinking about it. Also, I wonder what happened. They said a couple months ago, though, actually it wasn't even a couple, it was maybe last month, that they were saying they plan on fully, releasing Bitcoin Canada wide, and they want to actually make their own CBDC type of operation. Now, remember, CBDCs you don't really want to use. You know, they may turn that to their new type of fiat type of system. It's not going to be fiat, obviously. It's going to be crypto, but it's going to be a centralized crypto. And what's on that? They pretty much stamp your ID right to it. Transactions, your picture, like your picture might not literally be there, but to the point, they know exactly who it's coming from is what's going to be happening with all these CBCs all over the place. But anyway, regardless, I don't really care about that aspect of it. The whole aspect that got me really kind of excited is they're going to be looking into that. And when they plan on implement it, when they see Bitcoin as a more viable option to use countrywide in day-to-day purchases. So right there, you know, they're talking about the CBDCs and how they want to do this. You know, they're kind of tweaking that in, you know, planting that seed. We kind of talked about that the other day where Baco's planting the seed about potentially pushing difficulty bombs so that when they actually do it, it's not going to seem like that big of an impact because, you know, a couple months ago, they mentioned it slightly. So it's always in the back of your mind. So they're planting those seeds out there to move forward into potentially saying, you know what, we're going to might be doing CBDCs, but once Bitcoin is more adaptable and used for day-to-day purchases. The only thing I heard out of the whole thing is one, they want to make their crypto that takes all your identity, obviously. But second, they're thinking about opening Bitcoin countrywide for day-to-day purchases. That's a pretty big thing. That's good. Who cares about their CBDC stablecoin they want to make? What I cared about was, you know, the part that they're going to make Bitcoin used for transactions and day-to-day purchases. That's really big. I think the same type of operation is slowly happening in the States and, you know, other things like that. So this is actually fairly big news, even though their main focus was pointing towards their own coin. But in the back end, you know, it's looking good for all of the crypto holders out there. I should run for president. I will annex Mexico and free you both. That's crazy. CDDV, overwhelming big brother coin. So yeah, no, for sure. That's exactly what that is. But, you know, I ignore that whole situation, and the main part I focused on was the fact that, you know, they think Bitcoin is actually becoming big enough that it's going to start running and being, you know, a main currency, and that's good. That's huge news. That's massive news. I'm still waiting on the Threadripper vid myself. Oh yeah, aren't we all? We're all waiting on that. What are they at now, I wonder? You know, what's a Threadripper going for these days? Let's have a look here. PC part picker. Threadrippers, what are you running at these days? United States, we're going to go to Canada. I tried emailing Best Buy and a couple people today, actually for this very reason. You know, see if I could showcase Threadrippers or something from them. We'll see what happens. I highly doubt they're going to answer because, you know, they're already a big company and they don't need people promoting them. But I'm like, you know, I want to test out a Threadripper. Let me test one out. Come on, guys. Don't be a bunch. Oh, where's my button? Come on, Best Buy. Don't be a bunch of holes and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Threadripper system build. Let's look at not that one. Not that one. Save parts list. Ripper. 38. Oh, it's back up in price. So we're gonna have to edit this parts list. Let's look at CPUs. Let's see what we got going on here. Just look up Threadripper. What do they even have? Is that it? What? Probably. Oh, coughing all over the place. They're getting me. Sorry, guys. But where is it? Browse products. Okay, let's just look for CPU. Ah, I'm gonna have to remove the motherboard, I think, because there's those new ones and everything now. But they use a different slot. So that's what's hindering my search results here. All right. How do we make a new one? Can we just make a brand new edit price guide type of thing? Browse products. It's still based in a system builder. All right, we'll just X everything here. Gone. I guess this should all be okay. So we should be able to search this stuff out now. All right, Threadripper. Here we go. What's the cheapest Threadripper? Obviously, it's going to be a crappy one. Yes, 1900X. Not good. Where's the cheapest 3000? 3960X. 2114. See, that's like, yeah, that's not that great. That's two 3900Xs. 3970X, I think, is the best bang for your buck, but it's out of stock. There's probably an Amazon price. I bet you it's Amazon. Let's see. Yes. Oh, it's the only places in stock is at Amazon. 3872. Look at Vugo. 2600. PC Canada 26. Canada Computers 27. And Shop BC 28. Then you get the good old Amazon. Obviously, we have scalpers running around that operation. It's an extra $1,000 than the next more expensive one. 3800. And obviously, like $1,200 more than what you can find the cheapest over here. But obviously, we're out of stock there. So we're still not looking too good. What else do we have? We don't have any of the new ones. Did they release? They released those Pros, didn't they? Threadripper Pro. Wow. There's no Pros available in Canada. Not even the 3000 series Pros. Canada gets gypped. They never get anything. This is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't even think the 3090 Ti's are available in Canada yet. You know what? Let's find out. 3090 Ti Canada. Oh, Newegg. Let's see. Newegg has a 3090 Ti. What are you charging us for? And $38.99. Oh my gosh. What was their hash rate again? What was the 30? Okay, hold on. Let's go back. 236. Someone got 236 on this. On a 3090 Ti, didn't they? Now we're running 125. Not even an extra 10 mega hash for an extra $1,000. That is crazy. Absolute who? Oh my gosh. Who's buying these? Did you guys buy these? Please don't tell me you guys bought one of these. I know some people that did buy these, but yeah, oh my gosh. Extra $1,000 for an extra 10 mega hash. Would you spend $10 or $1,000 on 10 mega hash? Well, some people did. Some people did. Oh my gosh, that's insane. But it looks like it's available in Canada now. I don't know if this is MSRP, if this is like some super scalper price or what. You know what? That's actually, I gotta check something out here. I wonder, I gotta go over to here. Let's check out Kijiji. Make sure I'm anti-doxed here. Kijiji, register, yada yada. All right, nothing's here. We should be good. Let's look for a 3090 Ti. 3090 Ti. Anybody selling a 3090 Ti on Kijiji here? Oh my gosh, there is one. It's cheaper than Newegg for an EVGA FTW3. What? Is that legit? Where is this? And that's the, oh, there's another one here. Brand new in box with a receipt. So it looks like it's available. What? $2,800 for a 3090 Ti? That's still extremely expensive, but that's way cheaper. 3090 Ti right here, $2,650. Okay, that Newegg prices must have been scalpers because these are 20. This is like $1,000 cheaper than Newegg. So Newegg was definitely scalper third-party sellers there. What? Anyone from Canada out there? I got a 3090 Ti today. Oh, you got a tie. Techman has a tie. How much did you pay for anyone in Canada? What is the MSRP of this? So like this is scalper prices. This is used market. So what is this thing legitly? Have you tried any blockchain games like Gods Unchained? No, I have not tried any of the blockchain games. I don't even know what they are. I tried Googling it once, but nothing really popped up. And the ones that did pop up would look kind of weird. But no, I have not tried any. I should look into it. You know, all this NFT. Now, I also got an email. I don't know how legit it is. Do you guys know of a company called... And just because the company may be legit, it doesn't mean that they're actually legit in the email, but it does tie to the actual website and stuff. Anyway, regardless, what are they called here? Yeah, I don't know about these guys. You guys do some research for me. Do you guys know Crypto Data Tech? Crypto Data Tech. And their website is, where is it? Come on. I'm not clicking any links in an email, but I Google stuff. After I get weird emails, I Google stuff to see if, you know, the links they say is legit, but I never click on it. Never click any weird links, guys. Don't do it, ever. Where is it? Where the heck is their website? I don't even know where it is. I can't find it now. Oh yeah, this other one here. Tycoon Meta. Here it is. Where is it? So Meta Tycoon Club. I saw they were featured on Yahoo and everything, like legitly through Google searches. Allegedly, they're like realtors in the NFT market for property and stuff. I don't know how that all works. I don't know any of the NFT stuff. Again, I didn't click any links. I just Googled stuff that these people allegedly say. But yeah, I don't know. But you guys heard of any of these things? I don't know. I don't follow the whole NFT stuff. 1999 plus tax, 3090 Ti Founders Edition. That's Canadian. Oh, 240, 2431 USD after tax and shipping. 1999 plus. Okay. 3090 both tough. Won't hold above 1700 memory. I have two 170s. Not too great. Both are cooled well. Interesting. Yes. I don't know if that's a Silicon Lottery or a brand thing. Like, remember, like, what was it? 2060 KOs. I used to have one of those. And yeah, here's one right here, 2060 KO. They're BIOS locked. I don't know if you can flash them or not after the fact, but these things, you can only go X amount above and overclocking, X amount below, and you can only go down to like 80% power limit or something. I can't remember. I used to have one of these. It wasn't that great. Well, it was good for what it did, but when it came to Ethereum, you couldn't tweak it as good as you could with other 2060s. But yeah, maybe, maybe it's something like that. It just won't do it. Something in the BIOS. Non-LHR 3060 Ti, 3070, 3080, 3090 for sale. Pristine condition. Let's take a look at this. What's this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? I'm looking forward to sell all of my GPUs. All these GPUs are in pristine condition and were taken well care of. None of them None of them have any overheating issues. Every GPU runs cool and stable. I'm selling the following GPUs. Two 3060 Ti's FE. One is brand new in box, sealed. Oh, that one's already sold. One 3070, 3070 Ti, 3080, sold. A note, all the above mentioned GPUs are non-LHR and can be tested before purchasing. All comes with the box. We'll sell them separately. How much is he asking? 3060 Ti, 3070, $1,200. No, thank you. If bought more than one, then I can do 1100 per GPU. No, thank you. Selling RTX 3080 for 17. No, thank you. If I bought together, I can do 16 per GPU. No, thank you. And selling the 3090 for 2500. That's a little closer to what the MSRP of the other ones are, but still, no, thank you. All right. Good thing we just, took that out apart. So prices are coming down, though. They are coming down quite a bit, but still nowhere where they should be. Remember, after Ethereum, guys, like, let's take this 2060 KO, for example. Once Ethereum's gone, this $800 is probably going to be $400. Maybe even under. Maybe they'll be $350 Canadian. This 3090 Ti, obviously it's new. It's brand new. It's going to be its thing. But, this is not being bought at the store anymore. So technically, in theory, because it's on a used market, it should be at least be MSRP or lower. After all this comes into place. So people buying this just to sell, like scalpers out there, I don't think it's a good time to get into the scalping business because, yeah, it's just not interesting. Anyway, let's get back to whatever we were talking about. I don't remember what that is. What were we talking about, guys? Do we have something going on? Do we have something happening? Oh, these lights are blinding me. They're still on. Where's my app button? Off. There we go. There we go. Camera off. All right. Nice. Rabid EVGA FTW 3080 or tough? I would roll if you have a chance. And when it comes from me and NVIDIA, I do believe the EVGA's FTW series is probably one of the top of the line ones you can go with. I would roll with them. It's the same thing when it comes to AMD cards. I would roll with obviously the Sapphires and stuff. Now, usually with NVIDIA cards, the brand doesn't really matter. They're usually trying to promote their higher clocks and everything. And when it comes to crypto mining, we're not utilizing boost clocks and all this stuff that gamers would use. So usually, most of the time with NVIDIA, the cheapest GPU you can find would be your better option. But it looks like some of those ASUS, in the 3000 series aren't performing as well. And, other things. AMD is a different story. I would highly recommend probably Sapphire Pulses as well as Sapphire Nitros because their fans last pretty much forever. They got dual BIOS switches, you know, they got great coolers, and you know, they're just all around. Sapphire is top notch when it comes to AMD GPUs. And also I have an EVGA RTX 3080 FTW3 Ultra, and this thing is a non-LHR. I've never changed the pads in it ever since I first got it, and this thing runs extremely cool. I believe it's like 84 on the junction temp. So like it's been rock solid ever since I had it. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the EVGAs when it comes to 3090s and stuff like that, because you know they're a solid brand. You found the 1150 3080 FTW3 1150. Nice, nice. I can't remember what I actually paid for mine. I got mine at Memory Express. I ordered it. Said, Memory Express, I want this GPU, ordered for me. And actually 3 days later, they called me and said, yo, we got it in. Come pick it up. It's like, okay, I'm on my way. And I got it. And it's not an LHR. But that's when, before LHR was a thing. And, you know, just before, right when it kind of happened. Now, I did have a 3080 on order ever since then, and it's never came in. I got a phone call a week or two ago, and I kind of talked about that in the live stream, but I said, they called me up. I didn't answer it because it said Memory Express. I'm like, oh, great. Do they have a GPU I don't want in now? And they just left a voicemail, and it pretty much said, yes, we still do not have any of the 3080s in. We do have, can't remember, they named off some GPUs that I don't want. And please call us back. Let me know if you want any of them. And I didn't call them back. Said, nope, not doing it. These are all garbage. Pretty much is what I said in my head. I just didn't call them back. Red Devils are good, AMD. Yeah, Red Devils are good as well. I found my 5600 XT, the memories gets a little bit warmer on my 5600 XT Red Devil. I was expecting the Red Devil to do a lot better than what it actually did. But yes, Red Devils are still solid cards. But I think in terms of price, they charge on their name, and they're not really getting what you should out of them. But that's just me. No, I could just have a bad Silicon Lottery 5600 XT as well. That could very well be an issue. So you always got to factor that in as well. Soaking while running? What? Except chops, thanks. Normal water damage soaked. What we got? Landing GPUs where air drying in a filament dryer for 2 months. Non-LHR alcohol cleaned. What do we got going on here? If 470 is on par with 3090 Ti, then what would the power be on the 4090 Ti? Alleged watts. So if, you know, imagine if it's 2 PCI Express cables and you need 2 of those 500 watt ones. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the 4090 is rumored around the 650 watt type of TDP range. That's absolutely insane. And that's why, you know, they're dropping these 2000 watt power supplies. And we just looked into, you know, the peak efficiency of power supplies is in the 50% range, right? So 2000 watt power supply makes sense for around a 50% workstation rolling at about 1000 watts. So we got a 650 watt TDP on top of, who knows, the 7000 series Ryzens. We don't know how much power they're going to use yet, but things are kind of making sense that you could be looking at anywhere from potentially 700 to 900 watts on a workstation high-end gaming PC. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. You're thinking about the power there. Like, that's probably already banned in California. Like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. You know, again, it comes down. What if it performs great? Awesome. I don't know how well they're going to perform. We're going to have to wait for early tests and stuff to come out. But yeah, you know, if they have massive efficiency, like we're pulling out massive mega hash for, you know, that's a high amount of power. If the hash to watt ratio is good, then it's good. But these things are going to be burning so much power. It's insane. If I need a nuclear power plant to run a single GPU, that would be fun. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. That's, oh my gosh, it's insane how much power they're using. It's almost, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I sent you a message just now on Discord. Could you read it, please, and answer here in chat? Tactics 272. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's go to Discord here. See what I can find. Okay, there we go. All right, so it says, Rabid, I need a little help, please. I have a 37 Ti that won't finish the driver update in Hive OS. The NVIDIA installer is giving an error, uninstall error. it's getting stuck at the point where the old driver is being uninstalled and fails at that point. Then the install process fails and Hive Shell disconnects. So I'm unable to update to 5.10. Whatever. Should I flash the BIOS in Hive Shell? Where are we at here? It says at the top malfunction beside GPU line. So I then put the GPU on a Windows system to use DDU. After that, I ran the NVIDIA installer with the NVIDIA drivers. Installer failed. Says I could not see the GPU. Device manager does not see the GPU. I tried an older driver and it finally installed the driver. Then I tried to install the latest driver again and it worked. So I put the card back on the Hive rig and tried to get an update, but I am not successful. Installer fails and I'm stuck at 470.86, which is from Hive OS. USB, I think. Should I flash the BIOS? I could get the driver. Okay, very interesting there. Hive OS isn't doing it. So are you on a USB stick? You have a couple options. One would be to use an SSD. You probably tried rebooting and reinstalling it again. So you can try a fresh flash to the latest stable version and then try and install it again and use the force command. If it doesn't do, you can try a manual install with the force command. And then if that doesn't work, I'm not really sure. But those are what I would recommend. Like I would try it again. I do it with the force command, doing an individual to select driver you want to do. And if that doesn't work, I would flash the latest stable version and then try those same install steps again. But I would also not recommend USB sticks. I ran into a lot of issues. A lot of people run USB sticks with no issues. No, it's 100% fine. It's just a slow process. You have more potential chances for failure, I found. So I do like to run either SSDs or M2s, and it speeds up the process, and I did end up with a lot less driver install fails at that point. I have a 3070 Rogue 10 Phi and 2x2, and times 2 3080 Rogue, and this GPU making 63.12 megahash at 104 on 115 watt, 225, and GPU's 42 Celsius. I don't have any issues. This is making any problems because I'm in 2800 memory. Nice. I don't even know what my settings are. Where is my Hive OS? So let's go here. Where's my 3070? 23. What are you running, ma'am? You got 28. See, I'm only running 23. I could get more. I haven't really tested my 3070 out yet. I got to pull this thing out one of these days here soon and test this on a bunch of different coins. Because it does sound like this thing is, 3070s look like one of the main GPUs to utilize after Ethereum is actually gone. But we'll see what happens, what hash rates and everything are looking like. I use PO state with 2400 memory. Do the math. 15 mega hash with 26 watt. That's super. Arx Crypto for you, CPU mining, what to mine. Would it be possible to have it where you input the hash rate for one algo and then it estimates the hash rates for other algos? No, Arx. No, that's the tough part. Because that's like saying, I don't know how to say it. Let's say put in 30 mega hash on Ethereum on your GPU. So what's it going to do on Ergo or something else? It's hard. You can't dictate other algorithms based on that. And that's another thing on Firo too. Like, you guys know, just like a quick example, trying to understand how algorithms work. So Firo, it recently did a hard fork a few months back to Firo POW. Now previously, let's just say, I can't remember the exact numbers, but say a 3080 was doing, 25 mega hash. Obviously it was doing a lot more, but this is just theoretical and just giving you an example. So Firo before a hard fork was doing about, 20, 30 mega hash on Firo. It did its hard fork and now all of a sudden you're up to like 2 giga hash. So, it jumped up quite a bit. So right off the get-go, you're like, whoa, I'm going to be getting so much more. I'm hashing so much. This is awesome. But remember, everyone that was mining it, the difficulty and everything's going to maintain the same. You're going to get the same amount of coins because that's just the way the algorithm works. So the same amount of GPUs that were there previously are still going to be there afterwards. Same amount of coins and everything is going to be mined based on the block reward set. And they didn't change any block rewards. So it's exactly the same. So just because your mega hash goes up or down on an algo change on a fork on the same coin, you're still going to be mining the same amount. Now the same thing kind of goes between other coins. Let's just take Ergo to Ethereum, for example. You're getting 30 mega hash on with a 580 on Ethereum. You're getting 60 mega hash on Ergo. Now you're gonna be like, whoa, I'm hashing way more. Well, it's just the way that algorithm works for that coin. You're not hashing extra. Well, technically you are getting more hashes, but so is everybody else. And it also depends on GPU. Ergo is very weird on terms of GPUs, where majority, like the AMD GPUs, don't really like to perform on Ergo like they should. They're not getting the mega hash that, to power that they should be getting, unlike the NVIDIA GPUs, which seem to be outperforming the AMD. So just back to your question, I guess, because I went on a little rant there. You can't just put in a hash rate and expect it to know what's going on with the other coins, because the algorithms are so much different. But to make things simple, I believe we're kind of talking about it in Discord and stuff. I believe there's going to be a poll or something going, or a setup sheet or something where you dictate, say the CPU you have, let it know the hash rate and power or whatever else. And eventually, once we got enough data in there, stipulated fat cat will be making like what to mine buttons, where you just push the button and it will fill in all those blanks for you. But we're just got to collect all the right data on different CPUs to actually have that presented to you. And I know a lot of you guys wanted that right from the get-go, but remember, this is early beta stage. So we're just giving you, a tool to use right now. There's still a lot of tweaking and obviously optimizations that has to be done. And those things are in the works to being done for you. So it will get a lot easier for you and it'll all work. So for those of you guys that are unfamiliar, let's just click on the good old CPU mining calculator right now. Right here on my website, RabidMining.com, you can see the CPU mining calculator beta test. And pretty much you go in here, put in the hash rates based on the CPU that you have on these different algorithms. You can add your power costs as well as power if you want. You hit the calculate button and it should tell you, profitability based on that CPU, and it updates every 15 minutes. Yeah, good stuff. You have a 3600X and a 3700X that I can contribute some numbers with. Oh, sounds good, Arcs Crypto. Definitely could use that. We need as much information as we can. Now, I don't know how I'm pretty sure it's going to be a button on the website, probably underneath the calculator, where you can, it'll be a form to submit and you just, fill out the info on your CPU. Obviously, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord so you can join the conversation on that and, just give your input on everything that everyone's talking about. We can just run to that right now, right here. I'm going to scroll down to it. Where's the CPU mining calculator page? Right here. So here you can see in the Discord, the CPU mining, and just talk about different things to add, how coins are looking, tests to be done, and stuff like that. So join the Discord. That way you can contribute and we can make this thing even a better tool than it already is. RabidMining, can you do a video on advanced log viewing in Hive OS to find out which cards are giving issues? Example, GPU driver error, no temps, but it doesn't show the card that has issues in Hive. Yeah, I can look into that. I haven't really looked into that in the past, but I'm sure I can try to figure something out. I don't know if that was you that asked me about that before, but I've been asked that question a couple times now. So it definitely sounds like something, people are having issues with. So yeah, I'll try to look into that sometime soon. Sounds like a challenge I need to take on Hive OS PXE router. What are you talking about? What's your challenge? Tech man, what do you got going on there? Fill me in. What's happening? Something about a challenge accepted. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we got 800 watts of 1,000 watts. I mean, 80% out of 100%. I know Corsair EVGA can handle more, but it's a good rule of thumb not to push the PSUs. Yeah, and especially with what's coming on these core intensive algorithms, people are going to be swapping stuff over and their PSUs are going to be at or over their limits. Oh, no storage in rig. Hive OS boot off your router storage. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Very, very interesting right there for sure. Can you make the CPU calculator have an example CPU like R5 37, just basic hash rates for all? Possibly. Like I said, like in the end, it'll probably eventually be looking pretty similar to what to mine, where you just click buttons. Either you click buttons or we'll do something kind of like what Mine Raptorium did, where you add in the number of CPUs you have in front of the, like the 3900X. I got one, got two, whatever. Or what to mine has the buttons to click on what you have and you add your numbers. So, you know, something like that, one of those will come into play. I just don't know which way it'll be yet. HiveOS PXE only works on AMD cards. I have no idea. Single SSD to use on all rigs. Single SSD to use on all rigs for HiveOS? You can do that? That'd be weird though. How would you get the rig configs? Everything would be named like exactly the same rig or something, wouldn't it? That's interesting. I don't know, 4EMH, is that a thing? One SSD to rule them all? Who knows where that's from? I'm sure everybody does. The one SSD to rule them all. Oh, crazy. So 800 watts of 100 watt. 800 watts of 1,000 watt PSU is what you mean. 80% of that. So yeah, like what would that be? 800 and 80. Whoa, whoa. And where is that? So 800 times, I guess 0.8. $160. So yeah, that's an interesting thing right there. So if you're only using 800 watts of 1,000 watt PSU, so let's say you're using, you know, a bronze 80. So you're running 80% efficiency. So 800 watts, you're going to be using an extra 160 watts at the wall on 800 watts on a bronze PSU running only 80%. So that's quite a bit, extra 160 watts of what you'd normally be running. So if you were to change that efficiency over to like, let's see, you're at 96%. So let's go 800 watts times that by a 94%, I guess. 0.94. So 752 minus 800. So like a titanium, you'd only be using an extra 48 watts. So you're going from 160 watts on 800 watts at the wall. So you'd be using, so an 800 watts would be at 960 watts, where a titanium PSU would be at 848 watts at the wall. So as you get bigger in terms of load, you kind of see how, you know, the better PSU is going to be saving you money long term. And if you have tons and tons of rigs, lots of rigs, like if you got 6 gigahash, you could be saving, you know, maybe potentially 500 to 1,000 watts worth of power using those more expensive titanium grade type of PSUs. So craziness. That's a free 3070. Yeah, exactly. That's a free 3070. But the same thing applies. Like, take for example, when I run CPU mining rigs, or take for example, what was that? I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. When I say you had 60, say you had 100 3090s. Like, I don't know what the fans, we know fans use they're one of the least efficient things of a GPU is running your fans. So when I did do that test this morning on the 3090, I did the test last night, actually yesterday, but it released this morning, going from 65% to 99% on the fans of that 3090 added 4 watts. 100 GPUs, that's 400 watts. 400 watts can run 4 CPU mining rigs. 400 watts can run 4 or 5 A2000s. Simple things like this to cut back on power costs, you know, really help you out long term, on top of adding more efficient PSUs. You know, maybe up front right now it seems like, well, you know, that's too it's fairly expensive. Like some of those titanium ones, especially in Canada, they're like $600, $600, $650, where you could get, you know, find one on a gold one on sale for $90, $120. But the more and more power you use, the more and more power you save. So if you really plan on crypto mining like forever, obviously the titanium power supply over time will be a better option for you. But then again, you know, if you're just trying it for a hobby, you don't really know what's going on, you're testing stuff out, whatever, obviously, you know, the gold is a much more budget friendly type of operation. But as you build and as you build and as you build, you're going to start noticing some power savings you potentially could have had. Now, it may take a couple years to actually reap your returns back for the more expensive price in those power supplies. but in the end, long term, it will benefit you. It does take a long time. 100% load is the safe load on a PSU. 80 plus can handle more than 100% load for short periods. Yes, that's true. That's just like kind of how, just kind of how you go. Like I believe there's like 80% load is your 24/7, I believe, type of consumption. So using everything 24/7 because it won't heat up too much. It's in there, but I believe circuits and lines, they're good for technically in theory 125%. And that just means because it's not loading. Let's take your kettle for example, or you have a coffee pot and a coffee kettle on at the same time. Your kettle uses 1500 watts, and something else, this might use 800, and you're overloading that circuit with them both on at the same time. But because they're both on for only an X amount of time, yes, you're over the power limit of the of what you should be using in that plug, but it's only on for a minute or so, and then it's off, and it has time for everything to cool. So that's kind of why you have 125%. And then they say the 80% rule. And with crypto mining, you use the 80% rule because you're usually running everything at 24/7 all the time. So you could go over that, but that's only if it's temporarily and things come offline and give time for your lines and everything to cool. If it was 24/7, you're running at those higher ratings there, then ultimately, things would get too warm and start to melt. So I think that's kind of how everything rolls in that place. Remember, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% right on that. XB310 ever 3VER, you might sound like you might have electrical background or something. I can give more insight on that, but that's just kind of how I understand the things right there. What do we got going up? Late morning, Dave Collins. Yeah. Sup guys listening in background at VA. What's VA? Apartment. Apt. I don't know what's happening. There are plenty of tech vids on YouTube going over loads with testing equipment and science. At RabidMining, but that 4 watt in the fan have 4 extra watts at 0.5 mega hash per second at times 100. That's 50 mega hash per second. So about $3 extra a day Canadian after electric. Am I getting this wrong? That 4 watts in the fan have 4 extra watts at, what do you mean 0.5 mega hash? I don't understand where the mega hash is coming in. The fans shouldn't, well, the fans do actually, in a way, the fans is part of the power limits you set on your power supply as well. So if you have a power limit set and you're not running an absolute core clock, then your fans does take away from the power limit that you have set, and it could reduce your hash rate a little bit. So maybe you're implying on that away a little bit, but at least on my 3090 here, I didn't gain or lose any mega hash turning up the fan. It just cooled the memory a couple degrees, but not needed. Like I put it back my OCTOMINER, and it was fine. But yeah, point is, fans aren't efficient. In theory, I really want to test out. I want to pull the shrouds and everything off every GPU in my OCTOMINER, my 3090, my 3060 Ti's, the A2000s, everything. Rip them all apart, get rid of the fans completely, just run the heat sinks and everything, then use the OCTOMINER to keep it cool. And if they stay cool enough, which, in theory they might, then, I could be saving all those fans worth of power. I could be dropping, I don't even know, potentially 10 to 15 watts every GPU across 12 GPUs in power savings there. So, it's a test, I may try in the future. Techman, I think you were going to try something like that, weren't you? Or maybe you're just doing your custom OCTOMINER. I can't remember. Were you going to try that? I don't know. Check your spreadsheet. What spreadsheet are we looking at? I just scrolled down and seen all this. My Octo won't run with card fans off. Really? Oh, it doesn't? Interesting. Very interesting. What do you So you can't turn, I'm going to try turning the fans off. All right, I'm going to wait. 65. How can we do this? If I go 0, okay, let's just try. I'm going to go 0 fans, see what happens. I don't know. I never tried running no fans. And I got auto fan turned off, and I just set all this to 0. Maybe I'll have to go to 1%. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My fan's going to drop and everything going to start cooking now. Let's find out. And they're not going down yet. Could take a bit. Refresh. 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 All right, that didn't do anything. All right, let's try. I guess let's go 1%. I don't know. Maybe we got to put something in here. But then technically you need a fan for it to do its 1% thing. I'm going to see what happens at 1%. Boom. Oh, they're coming down. Whoa, 3090 just went to 100% though, so I didn't want that. Keep your fans on, yeah. Oh man, the 3090 went to 100%. All right, I better put everything back to 65 before it crashes or something. Something melts. There's a fire back there. Call the fire department. What happened? Nothing. 3090 issues. And we're back to 65. Not yet. Did not turn back on. These fans are off. That's good. Maybe it was just a delay the whole time. I think we should be good. I'll check on it later. My ambient temp's too high to run fanless. Yeah, I remember. Location, where you live, ambient temperature definitely runs factors into how you should run your fans and everything as well. Go silent coolers like Noctua. Noctua, very silent. Obviously, amazing fans. Consider how often PSUs need replacing to be safe. When you're buying 20% more PSU power than you need for a 2 to 3% efficiency gain. So that cost effective. 0 will do auto either way. Do 5. 0 is for auto. Yeah, I knew 0 is for auto, but I thought if I had auto fan turned off, it should be 0. So I don't know. It didn't work that way, I guess. My ambient temp, okay. Fudwise, Techman, where are you located? No outside air. It's a hot box. No outside air. Oh no. I do not disagree with your rules. It is conservative and very safe. These are the things to consider. I'm kind of annoyed of the lingering 80% rule. Yeah, my main thing about the 80% rule just comes down to the fact about the 24/7 use. Like, I realize you can run things at 100% and you can run things above that, but I believe that's temporary power usage where it's okay as long as your lines and everything has time to cool down afterwards. Where in crypto mining, you're not really shutting stuff off and giving that cooldown time, which is why even 90% would probably be okay, but 80 to 90, and then you have to give room for potential voltage spikes. But that's where the 100 and 125% will come into play, because the odd voltage spike would be all right because it will have the time to cool down back down to the 80% afterwards. But I don't know, that's just my mentality on the situation type of thing. But yeah, actually pointing out, 80% only go there. Once you go above it, you're going to melt your house down isn't entirely true. It's not going to work that way. You can go above the 100% mark. And yeah. EVGA have RGB shroud around the fans. You can do whatever you want, including melting wires. Yeah, do whatever you want. Melt wires. That's fun. Actually, no, it's not. It stinks for a very long time. And they're cooler. Mine is usually always much cooler than the rest of the house. My basement is usually cooler. It's concrete basement stuff, and that usually stays cooler in general. Something's going on outside. What's the current best CPU coin to mine? I'm bouncing back. Currently, I'm on Monero Ocean. I'm trying it out. I just wrote down numbers, so I'm trying to do a 24-hour profitability. Obviously, my workstation's offline right now, so it's not mining right now. But I guess we can let's have a look, see what this is telling us. So let's just go 12,600, 3,900X numbers. We do about 16,100 here. Ghost Rider's about 3,555. Kryptonite Haven is about 1158 hashes, 1.1 kilohash. Curve hash, that is Pulsar. So I think that's around 60,000. Now, a 5900X gets around 90,000 kilohash on Pulsar. Beer's coin, depending on your miner, I get 28 to 34 megabytes, so mega hash. I'm going to go with 28. That's what I get at the 011 data pool, and using a different miner, I can get 34. And then Argon, I believe it's 16,000. I can't really remember. I think that's your turtle coin. All right, let's see what this is telling us. Boom. Yatacoin is having an issue. Oh, Yatacoin hasn't updated for 56 minutes. So we don't know if it's 100% accurate. But Veriscoin's looking not too bad. I've been seeing this lately. There's a lot of people think Veriscoin may pump. And Veriscoin is an interesting concept. I plan on running the actual wallet in my server PC when I get that thing built, because it kind of runs how the Pulsar wallet works, where you're staking. It's a 50-50 POS as well as a POW CPU mineable coin. And Veriscoin's been around a while, and you know, some people are expecting it to do something sometime here in the future. So we'll see what happens, but I like the fact that you can stake it in your own wallet. Makes it very handy. Same thing with Pulsar. Pulsar's up there. So we have to wait for this thing to update here. There's something going on. Currently, it's looking like Yada coin may potentially be it, but we don't know. Turtle coin is down at the bottom, 24 cents. XMR is 43. AVN's up 43. Raptorium's down to 42 cents. Insane. 58. What's the price at now? 0.007. Difficulty picked back up. Difficulty must have came up. It looks like the coins are dropping a bit. Interesting. So you have a Sana base. Is this CAD or USD? What are we talking about? These prices? Oh, there we go. Here's USD if you're referring to the crypto prices. Or you're referring to the calculator. The calculator's in USD prices. And this here, I don't think it changed with that, does it? Let me click on Canadian there. No. But yeah, no, these are USD prices because it's based on, you can see Yada coin, Coin Paprika, Coin Gecko, whatever they're using, it's the profit is in USD prices. So obviously for Canadians out there, you're making more than what that's saying. Convert. Oh, you're talking about these ones then. Ding. Yeah. I'm not very lucky solo mining Pulsar. I not even found my first block with 200 kilohash after 3 days. Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's take a look at mining pool stats. Let's take a look at Pulsar. Maybe the hash rate's through the roof or something. Pulsar, what are you looking like? Pulsar. Oh. It's not too. What day was this? February 27th. This is that spike from then. That's interesting. Oh, but then again, yeah, I was finding my blocks. Yeah, I got about a mega hash on here. So when I was finding blocks, I was using about a mega hash. I believe that's what it was. Let's take a look at Raptorium, see what's going on with that operation. Is more hash rate coming back online? No, the difficulty's still down. 149 mega hash. It is coming up. There's a little more hash rate on the network. It was down to like 120 mega hash the other day. It'd be nice to see this drop back down to like 40. And they can really rack in them coins. But right now, yeah, 149 mega hash. Minifacile is up and at them the way it looks at things. They're back in line. Raptorium Emporium looks back. Both these were gone for a while. Here you can see the big dead air on Raptorium Emporium. Minifacile. That's weird. They were down for a while, but it looks like there's no downtime here. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, yeah, we have any last minute questions, guys? RTM price dropped. That's all right. It's still higher than when I originally started mining Raptorium, so that's okay. Why you crash crypto? I didn't mean to. Here, let's see. Oh, look at that. I'm just pumped, guys. BTC just hit 54.9. That's insane. That is insane. And now it crashed. Wow, look how turmoil that is. Go from 54,000 to 40,000 in like not even a second. But you guys got your bots ready? You guys got your bots ready? Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, buy. Sell. All right, we'll go back to USD. If only it was that easy. If only. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Fudweiser. Here, have a coin. A little bit late. I'll give you a coin. Rabid's magic rich switch. Yeah, that's the magic rich switch. That's how you play the market. you buy low, sell high. How hard can that be? Like, come on, look, we just showed you how to do it. Buy, sell, sell. Buy, sell, sell. That's the way you do it. What's the Yada coin's price actually? I'm curious about that right now. Yada coin price. Coin Gecko. What are you at? Why does it say 8 days ago? There's like no information here. Is it broken? What the gauge? All right, so it's busted. Xbitron, is it? Xbitron. I think that's where it's listed. Let's see. Yada. Is it not on here? YD. Oh, maybe it's YD. There you go. YDA. USD 0.0048. Zero volume there. Little bit of volume. Wow, there's like zero volume at all. Crazy. What's AVN looking like? What's Pulsar looking like actually? 0.023, down a little bit. I have not hit a Pulsar block, and I don't even know. It's been like something's going on here. I hit one on the 5th, which was yesterday. Before that was the 1st, and then the 31st, 30th, and then like the 29th before, it was like 3 a day all the time. And then I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if just somebody bought a massive amount and that staking difficulty went through the roof, or if my wallet's broken. Maybe I got to update it. This place is tame. RPM streams get crazy. Yeah, we're nice and mellow, relaxing, rolling out. I don't know. I used to have like 24 to 30. Now, actually, the past few days, it's been very low. I'm only at 6 right now. I need more connections. My debug one, I don't have anybody banned. I'm using the code to, the 10,000 thingamajigger. Maybe I have to restart it. I think it might do better. I do have some background stuff going on, so that may be interfering here. So once I do get that server built, I wanted to do that yesterday, and then I got busy. And so I want to do that today, but now I would start talking about power supplies. So maybe tomorrow, one of these days, and I just close everything out because that's a good idea. But one of these days, I got to get that server built, get my Pulsar wallet in there. I want to get a Yada coin pool operation in there. I want to get, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have enough flux, or I would try running a flux node, but that's not an option at the moment. But I can do all sorts of fun stuff when it comes to that. Obviously, I got to get my chia mining again. I haven't been chia farming for a couple months since my hard drive, my 120 gig on my Windows drive on rig 3 filled up from the chia blockchain, so I haven't been able to sync up, and it's been dead. So I got to get that server together so I can get all my stuff going and, play with server stuff. Want to play with some server stuff. What's the server specs? Server specs are, I don't really have too many specs yet. I got that Be Quiet 810 case. I'm going to be using that. I'm going to use rig 3, which I think is that 39. It's a 3900X CPU. I don't know what I'm going to throw in there for a GPU. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just throw that 3060 Ti in there for a GPU. That way we can have voice. Now, if I need a picture and stuff, I'm just going to run my capture card to the server, and then I can run it through my actual workstation PC. So that'll be there for viability. And then I can record it and stuff as well, through the capture card. So that's bonus. And that's pretty much all I got so far. RAM, I don't know. I probably should get more RAM for it. See, now it's a server. I only got 16 gigabytes in there so far, I think. But yeah, that's what I got going on for that. All right, Kurako's Corner. Thank you very much for showing up. Have a good rest of your day. Are you keeping an eye on the ETH merge to keep us informed? Most of the time, I'm watching it. Obviously, when I find some news and stuff, I'll try to present it. I haven't looked at it since yesterday, so I don't know if anything's new today. You need to tell us what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm still kind of stuck in the same boat. That's why I'm looking at other options. All I know for a fact, well, I don't even know if it's a fact. Do your own research, not financial advice. But GPUs are going to look bad for a while. That's just the common thing that I see. So I am looking into other options to mine until, it may be viable fire up the GPUs again. But right now, you know, mine as much as you possibly can, because it's going to get a lot more expensive in terms of power to mine other coins, and it's, you know, the profits are going to drop as well. So, you know, just be ready for it. That's all I can really say. Run efficient, be ready for it, and, you know, look for potentially other ways to mine crypto. Like maybe an ASIC might be better for you. Maybe some ASICs may be better for you in theory, like potentially a Jazz miner. That thing's absolutely insanely efficient. That may have a chance of keeping Ethereum Classic very profitable for you, even though they're expensive. Who knows what's going to happen long term? Yeah, so I don't know. Jazz miners are crazy. I'm trying to get one. Still waiting to hear back to see what's going on with them. I'm supposed to be getting a new one, allegedly. I still have not heard any information. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I don't know. Run efficient, guys. Run efficient. That's all I can say. I don't want to go ASIC. I like putting GPUs to work. Yeah, no, for sure. GPUs are a lot of fun to build. CPU rigs are a lot of fun to build. Actually, mining with a CPU is more fun than mining with a GPU. Well, maybe not. After Ethereum's gone, GPU mining, you know, for some people, it may get a lot more fun. For other people, it's probably going to be a headache. So what I mean by that is because right now, CPUs, if you want to stay, you know, ultimately, you know, as profitable as possible, you got to run around, chase hash rate, stay, you know, behind the time. So, you know, people mine something, and obviously the difficulty goes up. You're mining less coins per day. It's not as profitable. You either shut off your rigs and say, oh my gosh, CPU mining, absolutely horrible, trash. Why am I even doing this? Waste of money. You could do that, be that guy, or you can follow, you know, low difficulty coins, come behind everybody and pretty much pick up the scraps behind them and stay profitable. You know, make at least $1 a day after power on your CPUs. It can still be done. And, you know, potentially if we see nice price jumps in the future, that could move up to $10 or $15 a day. We don't know. But GPU mining is going to turn into the same type of aspect. There's going to be a lot of moving around, a lot of doing things, figuring out what's happening. What should you mine? Should you turn off your rig, turn on your rig? You know, things are going to get very interesting. And for some people, you know, it could be a lot more hands-on, a lot more fun. And other people, it could be a giant headache. So, you know, things are going to be changing though. So just brace yourself and be ready, guys. Crypto is about to go on a roller coaster. At least mining. Like crypto itself could explode and go crazy. But when it comes to actual mining, just because the price is going up, remember the difficulty can hurt a lot worse than a price, you know, crash or a price going up. Price could go up dramatically, but if we still have all that hash rate on the networks, you know, your profitability of mining a coin that just exploded is still really low because there's too much hash rate sitting on that network. Coin to BTC, FTW, there you go, Tech Man. You know, Bitcoin is probably your safest bet, 100%. There's next bull run. Like, I don't even know what to say about the next bull run other than it's going to be huge. We've seen the potential of what it could be. Take 2017, 2018, 17. You know what? Let's take a look at that right now. Remember, I'm not a chart guy. I'm trying to learn the chart stuff. I'm trying to learn, you know, blockchain stuff, but I don't know really anything on them yet. But let's have a look. Let's just go Bitcoin price. Bitcoin price. Let's jump into this. CoinDesk, CoinMarketCap. Let's go to CoinMarketCap because why not? Let's do it. Where is all? Let's go all time. And that's a little too far. We can squeeze this down a little bit. Actually, what is... So 17. Where's 2013? Way back here. Oh, there it is. Here's kind of, it's kind of funny. Okay, let's go all the way back. Here, look at this. That looks big, but it's not. So look at this. In theory. So here's 2013. And you can't really notice 2013 compared to what's going on over here. Obviously, see this little thing right here? Yeah, this is 2013. It's a little speed bump, I guess you could say. But regardless, it still kind of plays a factor into this. So let's go. Let's just kind of rewind time here a little bit. Let me just hit the button. Wait, this will be more fun if I go like this. We're going to rewind time. So here we are, 2013. Things are black and white. Okay, we didn't go back that far, guys. But look at this. Look at the spike. Boom. Now it's not very much. Bitcoin hit $698 or something. Oh, it's actually higher than that. 78, right there, 1,078. It went up a little more. It's hard to hit the exact peak. There we go, 1151. Now this is kind of when, BTC, obviously it had a halving around this year here. And slowly started getting its implementations. More people were slowly talking about it. Still, obviously, it wasn't that well known, but it started gaining traction, gaining movement. 2013. Now we're fast forwarding 4 years. So obviously, again, what month was this though? Funny. This is a very, very funny. Look at this, guys. December 3rd. What happened in December? Oh, it peaks and then it crashes and burns. Normal. This is the new normal. Get ready for it. So now let's fast forward 4 years later. Next Bitcoin halving. And this is, ultimately the spike everybody knows about. Is this it right here? Yeah, here we are, 2017. Now we went from this little blip right here. 4-year cycle goes by, big, huge crypto winter. Obviously, if you're hodling and mining at this time, you're rich right now, and you're probably not even watching this channel. You're flying somewhere in your private jet. Now, let's skip past this part where we all wish we were at one point in time and realize what was going on. Now we hit 2017, and a lot more people, found out about this. But again, look where we're sitting. We're in December of 2017. 4 years, and it crashes. 4 years, it goes up, and it crashes. December. Interesting. Now we're fast forwarding to here, another 4 years. But look at the increases from here to here. Massive. Again, from here to here, massive. So basing everything off history, not what's going on in the world. Like I said, usually when I look at this, I ignore everything that's going on in the world. Ignore it, completely gone. So we're moving fast 4 years again. So we're at 2017, 17. So now we're moving up 2021, and bam, look what we got here. Massive, explosion. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. And then what we got going on here? Okay, look at that. December. And then we hit our drop, obviously. And then we picked it back up. And we're coming in. Then we hit the December again. And now this is where we're sitting. We're slowly dropping in. But we're going to come down a bit more. Every single bump dropped. And we can see the big drop and drop. This was about a year from the all-time high. The lowest point of Bitcoin was 1 year from right here. So December to December, you can see right here. So I'm guessing we're still going to come down from the all-time high. Probably down. Now it's going to be above this. We're probably going to be sitting around this type of area moving in. But just basing everything off these 3 points, what do you think? So we're coming into 2021. The next halving is 2024. So 4-year cycle again. We're going to now have the potential chance that Bitcoin, if following the same situation here, and you can see it's inclining more each time. We have a slight going up, then we incline to here. So the next one, if it follows the same track from here, it's going to be somewhere. You guys can't even see that. I got to move my screen. That's how high it's going to be, guys. Oh my gosh, are we pumped now? You can't even see how high it is based on my screen. So I'm going to make it bigger. So if we follow the same track, it's going to be, somewhere in this area here. But because if we follow the same suit here, we go from here to here, we could potentially see another U straight up into here. So we could be sitting, I don't even know what price this is, but this is probably 150, 200, potentially the 500,000 type of mark. So 2024, if following history, could see something massive. So if you're actually thinking about this, even buying back on the tips like these people, you get scared. Oh no, crypto's crashing, sell my house. We're living on the streets. We lost everything. Wait for the next cycle. Don't fall. You can day trade, sell on the way down. Obviously get some more coins cheaper, go up, do all that stuff that I have no idea how to do because I always lose money when I do that. But basing everything off these stats, 2024, 2025 is looking really, really good. And that's when I think the next bull run is going to happen. And we're going to see huge spikes. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I'm not saying I know what's going on here. I'm horrible at charts. But the information is right there. And it looks like the 4-year cycles is a thing, as much as everyone likes to say, it's changing, it's different. Yeah, it is changing. look at the size of the runs. This was just a quick spike. This one lasted, a month and a half, 2 months. And this one lasted over a year or so, right? So, the next one may last even longer. It is changing. It's getting bigger and bigger every time. But each 4-year cycle and downturn ultimately ends up being the same. So next year we could see a 2.5, potentially 3-year bull run cycle with these ups and downs, but we're going to see a huge spike. This is kind of what I'm seeing looking at these. Now, I may be 100% wrong, and, let me know your details on this, but what do you guys think? Just looking at it like that. Does it kind of make sense to you from, a standpoint looking at this? Yes, ETH is safe too, but at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I think ETH is going to become too centralized. I think Ethereum potentially is turning in, like, I'm not saying it's going to be, but just what's going on, it could potentially be turning into the largest rug pull in the history of crypto. Rug pull 60 to 70% of the ETH is in the dev's hand. You look at a new coin or something, and if there's a huge pre-mine or any type of pre-mine, you right away, that's a red flag. That's a rug pull. That's a whatever. Ethereum's doing its own things, but the same type of concepts kind of apply. 60 to 70% of all Ethereum circulating right now is in the pockets of the Ethereum devs from a massive pre-mine that happened earlier. And then a whole takeaway, supply and demand situation comes out of that, because in theory, Ethereum is kind of, even though they put in 1559 in these things and they're calling it deflationary, they're pulling away really, as much as they say they're trying to help the network, they're really taking away more Ethereum out of the users' pockets because those gas fees are so expensive. And they care more about moving the POS because it'll benefit their pockets, and getting rid of the miners and getting the free ETH from them and supplying their network. They want to get the POS, get their pockets even bigger, and get rid of the miners. That's their main focus, because everyone using their fees right now are losing ETH. The more ETH you mint the NFT, it's like $400 to mint the NFT when the gas prices are high, even higher sometimes. So you're losing your Ethereum using their own network. Meanwhile, they're hanging out. They're not using their ETH. They're bagging it. You're losing more. They're getting more. And they can keep minting more Ethereum as much as they want. If you want Ethereum, you just buy it. It's going to be there. It's not deflationary. In a way, it could be inflationary because there's an unlimited supply. So I don't know. I think that's very interesting. But yes, the value is definitely growing. And there's a whole bunch of different mixed reactions on the whole Ethereum thing. And no idea. Who knows what the actual truth is? But we'll see. Anyway, let's scroll up and see what you guys are saying about all this stuff going on here. Do you CPU mine, algo, hop, and hodl, or do you convert into a common crypto? My Raptorium, I'm hodling on a smart node because, obviously it's earning more every single day doing that, until one day we see signs of potentially Raptorium exploding. Hopefully that's a nice thing and it happens, but we'll see. But yeah, right now I currently just hodl pretty much most of that. The Ethereum I use to buy everything was Ethereum, but on my GPUs and stuff, but I am, solo mining. I have not hit a block yet. So hopefully that happens before Ethereum goes poof and vanishes, or I mined for the past who knows how long for nothing. But we'll see. I'm using 2 miners to mine ETH directly into BTC. No way holding ETH. There you go. Staying cool. Yeah. BTC is absolutely, it's the king crypto. As much as people say Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin, maybe it gets closer sometimes, but I really don't think that will ever happen. Especially with the next halving and stuff, so that's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens though. But Bitcoin it's the main market. Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum could have the best thing going on. POS could drop right when Bitcoin starts dropping, and Ethereum's going to crash. It's not going to go up. So yeah, Bitcoin determines if things are going to go up or down. I actually don't even have any ETH. I get paid in BTC or Nano. There you go. BTC represents Swiss banks. The value keeps growing. As more humanity puts money on it over generations, Ethereum won't ever take over BTC. Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely won't. They smoke too much. Anyone know how to convert ETH to BTC in MetaMask? I don't know. And be very careful with MetaMask. Now, I remember it may be fixed now. I don't know. I haven't used MetaMask too much. But when it first released, and DeFi was a thing and it was booming and all this stuff, well, not was a thing, it's still a thing, but when DeFi first came out, and that's when the gas fees first started, you know, exploding and stuff, which was what, 2 summers ago, or was it last summer? No, it was 2 summers ago, I think that happened. But MetaMask, they had their slippage sliders in there and other things you could change. But if you're not familiar exactly how everything works, then I wouldn't try testing it until you fully realize what they do. That's how people were literally spending. Like, you know, you try to send 0.02 Ethereum and your network fee was like 100 Ethereum. Like you're spending $100,000 for a $20 transaction. It's crazy because it was platforms like MetaMask, which came out. I think they were rushed when they first came out, had all these, you know, things you could utilize in it, but people were hitting wrong settings and ultimately losing all their money for a $20 transaction. So keep that in mind too. It's probably fixed by now and easier to use, but I still have not used it like ever. I got MetaMask in here and I don't really use it. I don't go to the DeFi thing. I don't swap all that. Ethereum gas fees, just Ethereum's designed to steal all your Ethereum in a way. It's turning into the government. That's what all I see. It's a centralized entity. That's just bad. But yeah, anyway. Oh, we've been here for a long time, guys, so I should probably wrap this one up. Wow, it's almost been 2 hours. A little over 2 hours. Crazy. But I appreciate everyone for showing up. Much appreciated. You know, maybe we'll go live again tomorrow. Maybe we'll go live again tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See what happens. If I get a weird comment, you know, we'll probably just go live again in an hour. But yeah, anyway, thank you everyone for showing up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, bell notification if you're watching this later or haven't yet. I will see you guys on the next one. Hold on, I gotta find my buttons here. There we go. Rabid out. Huh? You guys like that one or what?